am finally in the know enough. Wait, hold on. Extra turn, torture, stamina leak. Okay, almost in the know enough to give you a good review of this new season that just showed up and the monsters that their skills I know that they've been leaked so far that I know of. I will say I don't know what Velvet Tom's moves are, but his trait is like immune to blind and then immune to like freeze or something. So, and then it's a torture immunity at the end. So I don't know if he's gonna be very good, but he's earth and fire, extra turn. He doesn't have dodge area or anything like that, so that immediately tells me, because they just throw dodge area on really good monsters, that he's not the best in the world. So first, I'll talk about the most important thing with any new era. The first thing you want to hear: how good is the battle pass? Not battle pass, Legends Pass, I believe is how they say it in this game. So first, Tyrant Skill. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. His skill set is really cool. He can like a double cleanse with nanovirus, and then he can do an AoE with a negative effect block, no, positive effect block, and negative effect protection, meaning effectively you can't apply positive effect and you can't easily cleanse it away. So you are kind of screwed if you let him go 2 turns, but that's it, you know? Just because you can't apply any positive effects, he can't deny, which is the big thing you look for in cleansing monsters. I really love his design. It is an obvious like homage to MODOK, who is about to come out in the new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania movie. That's a random piece of trivia, but his image was just leaked online, and now they just put like Tyrant Skill. It's a nice coincidence. It's funny, but yeah, he does really cool random negative effects. He has really powerful negative effects without being strong enough to use them. Because like a cleanse, double cleanse with nanovirus, we've seen it before, but it's not the worst, right? But then he doesn't have a denial to follow it up. A negative effect protection, negative effect block is good, but only if you could like follow that up with a denial. So I think he's a really interesting monster. He's got some mechanics to him for sure, but at the end of the day, you won't be using him very much. So the free monster, which, hold on, the free monster is Kiridar Pilgrim. Alright, so I'll be honest, I did not know how to say that name for the longest time. I still don't, so I'm just going to call her Pilgrim. No offense to anybody. So nature attacker with damage increase, blind immunity, and nature weakness. I gotta say, she's simpler than Tyrant Skill, but I like her more. Now, Tyrant Skill has like a control immunity, and as one of his, random 5 traits, they always throw something like that in there. She's got torture immunity status caster too. I believe only herself, but that's still good. So from what I've seen, she's got like massive nature damage plus toxins, a nature AoE with nature weakness, just a really heavy damage output monster. She can be really good for bounty hunt, because toxins and weakness, applying that on your own is just as good as like doing double damage and fire weakness. So maybe I won't have to use, phase rug over and over like I've been forced to. So overall, pretty good attacker. She can reapply that immune to torture. She's not the worst, she's not the best, but for a free-to-play monster, especially in an era saga, it's pretty good. Okay, so now the talents. Starry, after being damaged by a skill, gives an armor with 30,000, so that's about like hidden shiv damage percentage, like the same amount. So you get an armor with 30,000, that's pretty good. And then deals less than 1,000 damage back to the attacker. It's got 4 uses, so I gotta say this is a really powerful armor relic, but as a relic that does damage back, you're hardly doing any damage. It's really all about the armor, and maybe that light tap will do something, but it's really not the focal point. And sadly, this is another lackluster talent. After damaging with a skill, deals 18,000 points of light damage and 18,000 points of dark damage to all. Now, I gotta say, that is very, very powerful. We are in a meta where you're either using an earth and light monster like Fropsy, King Autumn, Uriel the Divine come to mind, or you're using like a light monster, in which case at least you have some dark damage output to go off of, or you're using a dark monster like Konekro, and then just the light damage output, the fact that it can hit 3 times and something that starts at 18,000 is going to scale up pretty nicely. It's got some pretty strong damage output to hit it with 2 different elements. One of the more unique things that you haven't seen before in Monster Legends is hitting something with 2 elements in one go. So yeah, pretty cool. A double element AoE. So actually doing more than hidden shiv damage, because 18,000 plus 18,000, devastatingly powerful. But damage output is never really what you look for in relics and in monsters, because it really just depends how much does it elevate it, you know? Like, Unrelenting Assault was really good, right? It had pretty decent damage output, 60,000 damage if you got it at rank 5, but that didn't matter. No one would have used it if it was just about the damage. It was the fact that it could give an extra turn. It was that it had that extra kick. And sadly, the Lunar Blade does not. It does have after damaging if the wearer's life is above 50%, which, the way I see it, that's just like if the stamina is above 50%, you'll almost always have your life above 50%, at least if you're attacking first. Applies Sunburn to all enemies, 2 uses. So Sunburn is just an extremely powerful dot. It's nice to have. And right here, Monster Wood. I gotta say, go all out for this one. I know what you're all thinking. She's bad. He's really bad. She's mid. And he is like decent at best. But for collection purposes, I say get them all. If you're free-to-play who, like me, sometimes worries about not getting the free-to-play Battle Pass monster, always watch the video so you can guarantee you have her. It's a really nice insurance policy. So watch your videos. You have to watch Halloween chests to get these Halloween candies. These Halloween candies go for an event called the Halloween Challenge. If you're a veteran, you know this very well. And then the best monsters here in order are definitely Elfira. She's a great Anticipation Pierce monster, but she's not the best until rank 5, which obviously not many of us are going to get her at rank 5. Queen Zara, she has her own Era Saga, but she's not the strongest. But I'd say they're both top priority. Elfira first, obviously. And then I was about to say Vanilla. Villena. She's pretty bad as a resurrection monster, but she's got a Halloween saga, which will give you so many rewards. So I say go all for it. You'll even get a golden pumpkin, which is a chance to get a Doomsday or Blossom Era monster. It could be King Autumn. It could be Nyla the Revenant. Either way, you got to take that chance. And let's see, what else? Maze monster, as from what I've seen, he's just another denial monster. I'd hate to no, he's not even a denial monster. He's just a protection guy. Like earth protection, random protections, that kind of stuff. He's really forgettable. Get him if you're really good and you can afford just collections like that. But he's not worth your time and effort. Then we've got this guy. No, not that guy. I really thought it'd be him right there. Rage 2-0. I gotta say, I think his capabilities are much more in attacking. Because I've seen his skill set, guess what? A heavy water AoE, which is great in a fire meta with blind. A moderate water AoE with freeze. He's got some metal attacks. He's got I think a water or metal plus double freeze. Like, I think he's just got the right elements, especially how he's only water, but he's also got access to metal moves. Using freeze and total blind, I think he might make for a decent little attacker. One that's kind of forgettable, but just like Gartox for the meantime, he's kind of fun to use. So, pick him up. I don't think he's anything too great, but definitely worth your time in my opinion. Oh yeah, you really got to spend your stuff, your bounty hunt coins. You've got 2 days and 13 hours to do that. Let's see, what else? I glossed over something. Oh yeah, and the last little bit I can go over in this video. Glad I'm being thorough enough. And I suggest you go to Chinchilla Leaks and find out what Velvet Tom does, because I'm not sure. Okay, so here, okay, the Pilgrim's Horn. This is the free-to-play Era Saga one, so if you get Kiradar and you beat the Era Saga, her free-to-play one, you'll get this. I haven't seen this or the other one yet. At the start of the battle, gives an armor with 24,000 points, really strong, alright. that's starting off pretty good because you like to have armor and shields and all of that at the start of the battle, because dots, they put this game now with like all these status caster random tortures, you stack up dots against you pretty quickly, so it's really nice to have some shields. Okay, so it gives you armor, increases the strength of all allies too, so it's kind of like a Tubercon's horn. So like strength and armor, I really like that. It's a nice supportive relic that you can pair up with like Cosmonauts helmet. I think it's called helmet, and you'll be pretty set. And then the second one is if the turn starts, if any ally is under a random negative effect, if any ally is under a negative effect, removes it. That is meta. I think this talent is gonna be meta. You can remove without any effort. It'll just hit your turn before you can even attack. If you have corruption, if you have mega possession, if you have baby reversion, if you have blind, negative effect protection, it cleanses it away. Well, actually, negative effect protection, it'll need cleanse twice, but still, you get what I mean. So now, this is a game changer in some scenarios where all you do is get denied. Let's say you have a monster from this era go first, this kicks in, boom, you're free to go. You can do whatever you want, and your whole team has been cleansed away. They wasted their first turn, and the bots in PvP are never going to be able to tell they should save their moves, their best moves. This is a really powerful relic, or talent. It's a must-have in my opinion. Alright, and this one is pretty powerful too. When the turn starts, if the wear stamina is above 50, as I said, that's a given. When the battle starts, you're going to have more than 50% stamina if you go first. Deals 1,000 points of dark damage to all enemies and applies a random negative effect. It has 3 uses, so, I mean, at best, you get like a death countdown or a total blind. Overall, it's just some fun RNG. It's just some fun RNG, but like, it's not the best. And then this is equally as meta as Kiradar's horn, because negative effects rule the game. Tortures rule the game. So that is a negative effect you are always going to see on your team and the enemy team. So after damaging with this skill, if the enemy is under a negative effect, so literally anything, your status caster Garuda could give everyone shock. No, your beast Garuda could start everyone on the battlefield with shock. And guess what? Since they have a negative effect and you attack them while holding this relic or talent, a random control. Could be Mega Baby, could be Roots, it could be stun and they have a stun immunity. There's always a flaw and a good thing to every talent, but this, Tyrant's Ideas and Kiradar's Horn are 2 of the best relics I've seen in a while. Kiradar's Horn is definitely a must-have, and I don't know so much about Tyrant's Ideas. If they have a Pierce monster, that will become a meta relic, because the Pierce monster can just do an AoE. They'll, of course, have negative effects, and that'll be a random control. And yeah, there's also a breeding event for Flasherion, Forge Labs, Merc, and Shivakura. It's really all about that 1% chance to get Maggie, so I'll show you the combinations. So Voltaic plus Lord Moltis, Dark Zol plus Vada Magma, Ultrabot plus Varuna, and Thorium? Thorider, okay, I was close. And Rock. Alright, and the last thing I want to mention is it was on the new change to rank up survival times. Now, this is just a little visual glitch. They finally at least started to fix it. It no longer costs stamina. That is a relief since they've been pumping out dungeon after dungeon. The first problem, and they said the community told them they were the whole entire rank of survival dungeon back, and it'll be back So yeah, that's about it for my review of this new battle pass, this new season. I try to go over everything as best as I could. That's about it. I hope you found the video helpful. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day. That's about it. Your favorite Omni-Crab? No, your favorite Omni is Crab. Signing out.